Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm Carly if you're new, and if you're not new, thank you so much for watching another video. Today I am finally catching up with my books that I've read this year, and I'm happy to say that I am on track to meet my goal of 50 books. So that is very exciting because the last several months I didn't think I was going to get there, but I really tried to buckle down and read a little bit more. So I am on track. So today I am reviewing the books that I read for September and October, and I read over 10 books. Yay! And I actually read 5 Book of the Month books, which is huge for me. And I'm also on track to meet my goal for the year on the Book of the Month app, which is also exciting because I'll get a free little gift for completing that. And I really wanted to do that. Yay! Okay. So let's get started. Ignore my missing nail that literally just popped off before this video. Starting with the first book that I read, The Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O. Clover, I believe is how you say it. I mean, that's how it looks like it's pronounced. So just never heard that name before, Ellen O. Clover. Anyway, I really liked this book. I bought it because, or I chose it as my book of the month because it looked very fall romance and was just getting me in the mood for fall romances and fall themed books. So I picked this up and I was not disappointed. I gave this 5 stars. It is about this girl who lives in a cabin with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend is like a musician, and he cheats on her. They break up, and she realizes that she cannot afford to stay in this house by herself, but it's like the only place that she considers home, and she really loves that house. So she turns it into a little Airbnb retreat for people that have broken hearts. And it is a love story as well, so I don't want to give too much away, but it is very cute and I really enjoyed it. Next, I read The Man Made of Smoke by Alex North. This was a very kind of creepy book to get me in the mood, in the October spooky mood. And I gave this one 3 stars. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite. Basically, what it is about is this man, when he was young, he was at a rest area and encountered a man that was there with a child, and he came to later find out that that was a serial killer who had kidnapped somebody, and it kind of haunts him his whole life. And it's set in the present day, so he is grown up now, and he gets a call saying that his dad died and he has to go back to his hometown, which kind of brings back a bunch of emotions and things like that from his childhood and the trauma that he has carried his whole life. And some things start to go awry, and it's just really enjoyable. It wasn't my favorite, like I said, so I gave it 3 stars, but it is a good read and spooky and get you in the mood if you're wanting a spooky thriller-ish book. Next, I read Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. I gave this one 4 stars. I thought it was very good. This, again, you have to take my ratings with a grain of salt. If it's good, I like it, I'll give it 4 stars. If I really, really liked it, I'll give it 5. And if it was just okay, I'll give it 3. Okay? Anyway, I did enjoy this book. It is about this girl whose sister passed away 22 years ago. She gets a call from her father saying that her mom has fallen and she should probably go home to help her. And so she goes home for the first time in a long time, and kind of to distract herself, she picks up a job on this farm. And that's where I'm going to leave it because that's pretty much all I can say without giving anything away. But things start to go awry again. Things start to happen that are weird, and she starts to investigate it. And anyway, that's all I can say about that, but I did really enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. My next book was Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. As you can see, I went through a lot of my book of the month books pretty quickly. So anyway, I gave this book 5 stars. I thought it was very good. So this book is centered around this couple. This woman has a new baby, and her husband is involved in a hostage situation, and he is actually the captor. So he has all these people held hostage and she doesn't understand what's going on because that doesn't seem like him at all. He left her a weird note that morning, and it is set a few years into the future and things start to happen. She still doesn't understand. She still never got answers, all these things. And then some more things progress and she starts to realize what exactly went wrong and what exactly happened and if her husband was bad or in a bad situation. So I actually really did enjoy this book. I talked about these books in my last video, but I did read Howl, the first book in the Monster Boyfriend series. I wanted these for my birthday because I thought they would be super cute for Halloween and just a fun little read to get in the spooky mood. And I think they're cute for decoration as well. There's another one in the series so far. I don't know if there's going to be more or not, but there are 2 right now. I honestly did not really enjoy this book. I actually gave it 2 stars, which is very unlike me. I don't like to rate books lower than 3 stars, but I just didn't think it was very good. It was very far-fetched, and which of course it's a monster boyfriend romance. Of course it's going to be far-fetched, but it was just a little too much. So it's kind of like a town that is catered towards humans and people that are like vampires, werewolves, things like that. So it's very known that people have different lifestyles and could be monsters. So this girl breaks up with her boyfriend, and her best friend, who is a guy, starts to kind of have feelings for her, and it turns out he is a werewolf. And that's pretty much the premise of the book. But yeah, I just thought it was a little juvenile, but not in the fact that like it's made for kids. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. So I did give it 2 stars. I will keep the book because I think it's a cute decoration, like I said. And I probably will read the second one as well. I didn't get to it this spooky season, and I'm on to Christmas books now, so I will not be reading it this year. But I probably will pick up the second one next year just to see. And the second one is about a vampire, if you're interested. Then on my Kindle, I read The Intruder by Frida McFadden. I love Frida McFadden books. Sorry if that is not your cup of tea, but I do love Frida McFadden books, especially when I need to just get a quick read in or get out of a slump. I think they're perfect for that. And this one did not disappoint. I read it in 2 days, I believe, which is quick for me. I'm a slow reader. And I gave it 5 stars. So this girl is in a cabin in the woods. She lives there, and we know that she's a teacher, or she used to be a teacher, and she's not anymore. We're not sure why. And it gives dual perspectives between her and this other person who is in high school, middle school age, and it keeps flipping back and forth between the two. And there's a storm happening while she's in her cabin, and she thinks that maybe a tree will fall on her house, and she sees somebody in her shed out back, and it is a young girl, and she brings her into her house for the storm, and things escalate from there. So I did enjoy it. I saw some reviews saying they wouldn't categorize it as a thriller necessarily. So I don't know if I agree with that or not, but I thought it was very good and it had a really good twist. So if you're interested in another Frida McFadden book, I would recommend this one. Like I said, I did give it 5 stars. Then for another book of the month book, I read The Book of Witching. I had had this since last year and hadn't picked it up yet. So again, to get in the spooky season mood, I wanted to read it this year in October, and I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I forgot to say it's by C.J. Cook. This is a dual timeline book from 400 years ago to now. So basically, it involves this woman from 400 years ago that is kind of categorized as a witch. She doesn't want to be, and her mom is very much involved in that, and then she doesn't want to get her kids involved, that kind of thing. She gets put away for being a witch, all this stuff. And then current day, we have a girl who is in the hospital in the burn unit, and we don't know what happened. Her mom comes to see her, and she says this is very out of character for her. She went on like a trip and then is waking up kind of talking like a different person, that kind of thing. And I enjoyed this book. I don't think it's my favorite. I wouldn't reread it probably. It was okay, so I gave it 4 stars. I may go back and change that to 3. It would probably be more like a 3.5 for me because it was just okay. Not my favorite, but interesting nonetheless. And a very different read for me. I'm not really into that kind of thing usually, but I did enjoy it this time of year. Then, if you follow me on TikTok, you know that I was trying to get some reads in to get my goal moving along. And since it was October, spooky season, I decided to go to the library and check out some books and get some Goosebump books. So I don't remember really ever reading Goosebumps as a kid. I know I had some, and I know my brother had some. I don't know if he was the one that read them or if I just forgot which ones I read. I'm not sure. I hated scary things as a child, so I never really went that route. But I thought it would be fun to do around Halloween, plus super easy, quick reads to bump my goal up. And I actually really enjoyed it. The first one was called Heads You Lose, and then the second one was called Weirdo Halloween. And they're both like in this series um about Horrorland, which is like an amusement park but scary. And the second one, Weirdo Halloween, I did not really enjoy. I thought that the plot was weird because it was like 2 different plots. Like the book should have ended at one point and instead it kept going. And it was just weird. But the first one, Heads You Lose, was interesting. I didn't rate these books just because I feel like I'm not the person they're catered towards. So I didn't want to give them a rating. But I feel like even though they're written for children and in an easy to read format, I feel like they are very good books. Like, I think they're better than some of the adult fiction books that I've read, and they're interesting. I mean, again, they were written for children. The chapters are super short. There's some just very cheesy moments here and there, of course, but overall, I think they are very interesting and good reads and written very well. So, if you're interested in picking up any quick reads, I highly recommend going and getting a couple Goosebump books. While I was at the library, I also checked out My Roommate is a Vampire. I just happened to see this while I was browsing, and somebody actually stopped me on my way out and said they really enjoyed this book. So I was super excited about that. And I did like this book. It is by Jenna Levine. I'm assuming that's how you say it because it's spelled like Adam Levine. Anyway, and basically, of course, this girl is looking for a roommate. She gets evicted from her old apartment and she just can't afford it. She's kind of like doing some odd jobs here and there. And there's a Craigslist ad for a roommate and it's $200 a month. And she's like, this makes no sense. He's probably like, crazy. And she goes and checks it out anyway and likes it and decides to live there. And obviously, he's a vampire. So it's a little far fetched and a little cutesy. So I gave it 3 stars because I did enjoy it. I thought it was cute and there were some fun parts along the way. I just didn't think it was anything groundbreaking or anything crazy good and not something I would probably read again, but enjoyable nonetheless, which I feel like I've said a few times. But I would recommend it, especially if you like cutesy romances. I think it was cute. I don't expect a lot from monster boyfriend books or like anything like cheesy Christmas rom-coms, things like that. So I'm not going into it thinking it's going to be the best book I've ever read or anything like that. So I did enjoy it and I would recommend it if you wanted a cutesy fall Halloween themed romance. Then again on my Kindle, I read Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough, I believe is how you say it. I gave this book 3 stars. I enjoyed it, but the ending was so far-fetched and so unbelievable that I had to knock down my rating. And honestly, that ruined the book for me. Essentially, this woman works at an office 3 days a week. She meets this guy at the very beginning of the book, and come to find out, is her new boss at her job, and he is married. And somehow she befriends the wife and doesn't tell her boss, but also is still in love with her boss. And this is dual perspective. So we're getting her side, and then we're also getting the wife's side. And somehow the wife knows everything that's going on. And both of these people have like very crazy dreams. And they start doing like lucid dreaming and all this stuff. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about this one. It was just okay for me, which is why I gave it 3 stars. So, those are all the books I read in October and September. And I feel like it was a great wrap up. I really buckled down and wanted to get farther along with my goal. And I have confidence that I'm going to finish 50 books by the end of the year. I'm currently at 41 and I'm reading a new one right now. I just started a Christmas book. So I'm super excited for all my Christmas and holiday reads. And also, I skipped book of the month this month. I just have too many books that I want to read. But I can see a Christmas Barnes and Noble trip in my future. So I will probably film that and share that with you guys. But stay tuned for my final wrap up, which will be at the end of the year, beginning of next year, for how I finished my reading goal for the year. So I'm excited to see what kind of reads I have the next 2 months. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.